I love living in California, and I truly believe that this is maybe the best state in the United States. But even I have to admit that sometimes California lives up to the stereotype of being full of a bunch of stupid hippies. For instance, everywhere you go in California, you will see Prop 65 warning signs, which tell you that some substance somewhere nearby is potentially hazardous to your health in some way. They are completely useless because we seriously see them everywhere, and they contain no helpful information on what we're supposed to be warned of exactly or why. That's why when I first saw an article stating that California is considering a ban on Skittles, I laughed and rolled my eyes. Crazy hippies with their chemical phobia, right? But when I dug into it, I actually ended up coming to the opposite conclusion of where I started. California is right. We should ban Skittles. Well, we should do what the bill in question, Assembly Bill 418, proposes, which is to ban processed foods with 5 chemicals that are suspected may be dangerous to human health. Red dye number 3, titanium dioxide, potassium bromate, brominated vegetable oil, and propylparaben. Let's start by backing up just a bit to Prop 65. Remember last month when I talked about how California finally started cracking down on corporations like PG&E polluting groundwater back in the late 1980s? Well, in 1988, California passed Prop 65, which was meant to ensure that our drinking water was safe by putting the burden not on the EPA to catch big businesses screwing up, but rather on the big businesses themselves to prove that they were engaging in safe practices and to proactively flag any dangerous ingredient that might be found in their products, or else they would face potential lawsuits from consumers. While today we see Prop 65 as a useless joke, back when it was originally passed, it actually worked really well. Many companies rushed to reformulate their products to remove known hazardous materials so that they could still be sold in California. A 2005 survey found that the products included brass faucets, ceramic tableware, calcium supplements, water meters, water filters, galvanized pipe, crystal decanters, foil caps on wine bottles, brass keys, hand tools, exercise weights, raincoats, and other plastic clothing, electrical tape, electrical cords and wires, bicycle cable locks, CD wallets, baby rash powders and creams, anti-diarrheal medicines, hair dyes, hemorrhoidal medicines, nasal sprays, correction fluids, spot remover, paint stripper, shoe waterproofing spray, nail polish and nail polish remover, dandruff shampoos, bottled water, wooden playground structures, and portable classrooms, whatever those are. Unfortunately, that early success bred disaster, as more and more chemicals were added to the list for Prop 65, sometimes without real evidence of harm in humans, like with acrylamide. Studies from the 80s linked it to cancer in rats, but there's insufficient evidence of any causal link or any harm in humans. And unfortunately, it's found in a lot of common foods like French fries and potato chips, crackers, bread, cookies, breakfast cereals, black olives, prune juice, and coffee. Combine that with a group of lawyers who saw that suing small businesses for Prop 65 violations was the fast track to quick settlements, and boom, everyone now just slaps that warning on everything to protect themselves from being sued. Meaning that people now can't take the warnings seriously because we would be unable to move around and live normal lives if we were to avoid everything that Prop 65 warned us was dangerous. And with that comes the easy dismissal of new legislation meant to stop businesses from poisoning consumers, like my own eye roll at the idea of banning Skittles. I mean, come on, who would ban Skittles besides the entirety of Europe? That's right. In 2021, the EU updated their guidelines to state that titanium dioxide, which is an additive used in Skittles and other products to make colors pop, is no longer considered safe for human consumption. A ban went into effect last August, and many manufacturers responded by changing their recipes to remove titanium dioxide so that they could continue to sell their products. That same summer of 2022, a California woman launched a lawsuit against Skittles for their continued use of the ingredient here in California, citing the EU's guidelines as evidence that that additive is dangerous. So, is titanium dioxide harmful? It's kind of hard to say. Like with acrylamide, animal studies show evidence of harm, particularly concerning its ability to damage DNA and affect the microorganisms in the gut. It's hard to figure out how bad it is for humans because it's now found in so many products and has been there for so long that the damage that it might be causing could just be like background noise. But unlike acrylamide, which naturally forms whenever we bake, grill, or broil foods, which is why blackened toast might be worse for you than lightly toasted toast, titanium dioxide, though, it's pretty easy to avoid. It's just a mineral pigment, and we don't have to eat it. Companies just put it in their food to make us want to eat their food more. It makes that rainbow more colorful. Like the other chemicals in California's proposed new bill, titanium dioxide is only in our food because the FDA allowed the burden of proof to be placed on themselves and on consumers to prove that these things are unsafe, rather than on the corporations to prove that they are safe. People aren't downing bags of Skittles and dropping dead, so until we have more evidence that they are directly harmful, we let Skittles keep selling them to us. But harm doesn't need to look like dying of an immediate Skittles overdose. It's true that titanium dioxide probably isn't going to kill you in the amount found in a bag of Skittles, but what if it's in everything? What if also it's in everything your toddler eats? What if the people with the lowest body mass, children, are most easily drawn to brightly colored products that are best achieved using titanium dioxide? In fact, one of the other chemicals on the Assembly Bill 418 chopping block, erythrosine, or red dye number 3, is also used frequently in food targeting children like candy and popsicles. And in addition to the standard linked to cancer in lab rat studies, it's one of the food dyes that some researchers think might exacerbate hyperactivity in children with ADHD. Is that link fully established? No. But again, there's ongoing legitimate research looking into it. And in the meanwhile, do we really need our kids' popsicles to be pink? Another chemical in Bill 418 is potassium bromate, an ingredient found in some flours that has also been linked to cancer in rats and mice, and it's actually already banned in the European Union, Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Nigeria, South Korea, and Peru. The only reason that it's not banned in the United States is because its use predates the FDA amendment that prohibits carcinogenic food additives, meaning that it is generally recognized as safe until overwhelming evidence and pressure forces the FDA to change their stance. But hey, at least in 1991, the FDA asked bakers to please stop using potassium bromate voluntarily. And thanks to other countries banning it, many companies have stopped using it entirely. Again, is the danger crystal clear? No. But is there enough evidence for concern that we should stop using an ingredient that we didn't really need to be consuming anyway? I kind of think so. Yeah. While I don't like the way predatory lawsuits have turned Proposition 65 into a useless joke, I do think that the original intent was good. Place the burden on large corporations to prove that the ingredients they're using and the manufacturing processes that they employ are safe for consumers. If you want your pink Skittles to be pinker, prove to me that it's not going to damage anyone, especially the little kids that are going to be gnawing on pinker teething rings and drinking pinker strawberry milk and pinker fruit juice and eating pinker pistachios. And yes, even eating pinker fruit like cherries, which are often dyed to look more appealing to the average grocery store shopper. It would be great if these companies would just choose to do the research on all of this, but that's something that costs them money. Mars Incorporated didn't become a $45 billion megacorp by spending money on studies that are designed to detect if their own products are harmful. So fine, let's ban any non-essential additives that might be harmful to people until the companies who want to use them can prove that they're safe with solid, unbiased scientific evidence. I assure you that this will not lead to Californians needing to cross the border to get Skittles. It's one of the nice things about being a very populous, very rich state. Instead, what it means is that Skittles will change the recipe and humanity will go on just fine, possibly with a few less toxins in our lives. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you think the world could use more videos like this and you happen to have a few bucks laying around, head to patreon.com/Rebecca and join an awesome community of nerds like the people whose names you see on the screen right now. Thanks.